Oh, well, hello there. Let's see if we're on the YouTubes. Let's view on the YouTubes. Is it going? Okay. View on the YouTubes. There we go. Is it going? Okay. View on the YouTubes. There we go. All right. So I got a story. You want to hear a story? So I drive about, and as I'm driving about, people don't really, people suck. I'm sorry to say it, but people suck. I mean, people. A person as a person, the duct tape and crayons. Duct tape and crayons. Come on. There. Come on. Things falling apart. It's all falling apart. Duct tape and crayons. So, if you drive around enough, you're gonna run into these accidents, strange situations. And I came upon a strange situation today. So let me see if I can. Okay, that's kind of distracting. Uh, so a tractor trailer almost took out a million people's connection, the internet, uh, phone. It's the communication line somehow dropped 2 or 3 inches too far, and a truck couldn't get under it, and it got hemmed up. It got caught up. Geez, I can't concentrate with all this Metallica going on. Let me just finish up the Metallica song. So building hide into, yeah. So I found my hero of the day today. That's Officer Lee. Works for the Fairfax County, the coppers in Fairfax County. He's a really cool dude. I mean, people may not like uh, police officers and whatnot, but this guy was on his game. He got shit done, and I appreciate him. And I wanted to send a warm thank you. Uh, so, if you are in the area that this happened in, and you can actually see this right now, thank Officer Lee. And his lieutenant is Lieutenant Montgomery. So you can kind of think of Bewitched. But all right, so I'm pulling into an HOA, a place I'm going to go look at, and as I'm getting out of my car, my vehicle, I look up and I hear air brakes hiss, that sound. I'm like, that's unusual. And so I look up, and this huge tractor trailer is blocking the whole road coming in and out of the town of Vienna to Tysons. On the corner, there's a McDonald's right there, and they, the trucks will usually use that entrance to turn around or drop off loads for the McDonald's. And when I looked up, I heard the air brakes. I was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. It ain't right. Something's going on. What's going on? So I started to walk towards it just to see if something really was going wrong. And sure as shit, he was hemmed up. So you got telephone poles like this, right? And then you have the lines going from the telephone pole to telephone pole for communication are all on the bottom. The power, of course, is along the top. Usually you have three lines going across the top. But what he snagged on was the communication line. And okay, so for contextual purposes, the communication line that runs from Tysons into the town of Vienna, vice versa, because it's all interconnected, was bigger than I could fit both my hands around. Yep, at least that big. And it was long. I mean, you think about pole to pole, so you've got the intersection into a small community, telephone pole over here, telephone pole over here. It had to have been a good maybe 100 feet. So, yeah, at least 100 feet of sagging lines. So the line, for some reason, started to sag. And as he's driving his truck in, it hit the top of his cab. And the cab, if it's got one of those, I mean, this is a $2.5 million cab. He's got this scoop. So the line is like this. And it hits his cab and slides up. And for some reason, he was alerted. I'm not sure if it was like an internal thing on the cab that said, do, pay attention more. But he did stop. I mean, like, I'd say 6 inches one way or the other. If he hadn't stopped right there, yeah, everything was going dead for about 1 million people. Yeah, I'm guessing 1 million people, and that's probably a short number because once you get into, so that's just the people that are actually connected. The people over here and the people over here. But then if you can't communicate, then all those people that they communicate with in the World Wide Web of communication are not going to be able to talk to them. So it'll be instant blackout. And something like that would take at least 6 to 8 hours to repair on a good day. But you get the telephone poles involved. You've got the power line up above. And so if you actually drag that line and that line comes down and the poles hold, so like it's attached to poles like this, if those poles are really well attached, that whole power line system for those 1 million people is coming down. And that's going to start more than just a fire. I mean, look into Electrical Hazard Awareness Program, EHAP. Go get your EHAP. So I'm looking at the situation. I'm walking over there. I'm like, this is not good. I gotta, it's just instinct. I was told by the lady I went to go actually visit. She's like, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have gone anywhere near there. I was like, well, you wouldn't have any power, a way to communicate. And she's like, she's a little bit older lady, and she's English. I didn't think it. I didn't relay it in all those same terms, but she was like, oof. In any case, so I'm going over, boom 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 boom. He's in his cab. He's like, what do I do? And he saw me, and he's like, all right, at least somebody else is out here. And I started climbing on his cab, a $2.5 million truck. That's not something you do, so no, you don't let somebody climb up on your truck. That's not something you do unless it's a drastic situation, and you don't yell at them like, back off. So once I got there, and I'm climbing up around, like, all right, what are we gonna do? And he's got this the ice scraper for winter. It's maybe about yay long. He's trying to push the wire over the not over the cab, because the cab is past that at this point. So he's trying to push it up over the trailer, and I saw, so the line at this point right there where he pulled into it was frayed, and I was like, okay, even my thoughts to myself, okay, even if you push that over top of the trailer, as soon as you start moving, this thing's going to drop down. It's going to catch again. So even if either one of us could have gotten on top of the cab or the trailer, bad things were going to happen. The truck moved at that point. So the lady, nice lady, I was dealing with, was kind of watching this, and apparently she called the police and said there's a situation. And so while me and the truck driver were trying to figure out, this puzzle, because it's, how do you get the cab, because the cab's got the scoop, and you can't pull backwards with the scoop on, and you can't pull forward with the trailer. But somehow we moved the truck about a foot. I would say no more than a foot. Either way, and it dropped the wire between the cab and the trailer. So at this point, of course, mind you, there's traffic over here all coming from, this is the main artery of Vienna, going to Tyson's and anywhere, and going home from everywhere. So we have all these people watching us this whole time. And I'm sorry I called you a D, but you were being a D because you didn't see the severity of the situation, and you pulled up on me and you almost hit me. And you're like, my daughter's in the car. I'm like, yeah, you're being a D. He's like, well, she can't hear that language. I'm like, well, you shouldn't act this way. You should see the severity. I even said, this is a severe situation. Please don't act like a D. And I don't think he got it. It's okay though. You're okay. I still love you, man. It's all right. I'm sorry your daughter had to hear that kind of language, but it's kind of a good thing that she saw that, her dad was acting like an irresponsible D in a severe situation. And somebody was actually trying to take care of the situation so that she could get to wherever she wanted to go But yeah, sorry, dude, and your daughter. I called you a D, and your daughter had to hear me calling you a D for being a D. But you almost hit me while I was trying to help you. So there's that. Much love, man. Be yourself. So literally, he had to drop the whole trailer, take the cab, pull out there, while me and Officer Lee are holding up traffic. And it was just one cop, and some stranger, some random dude trying to help out. And you know, we're just like trying to wrangle cats at that point. It's like, but Officer Lee, I would recommend you for a commendation on your patience, your agility, your maybe just your way, with people. I would give you a commendation for that, for being such cool, calm, and collected. Because you can't really train for that type of situation with millions of people, with their lives in your hand. Their lives are in your hand, man. You can't train for that situation, and you just do the best you can. You adjust on the fly, right? And Officer Lee did, and I called up and I left a message for a supervisor. I think Lieutenant Montgomery. Thank you for being awesome. And yeah, so the truck's in there, pulls the whole thing around. Million people that way, about to lose power. Um, all communication lines, possibly a fire right in front of us, and all kinds of pissed off people to the left and right watching us, because we're in a what do they call it, a fishbowl right at this point. Mm. But yeah, Officer Lee, he got there, pulled his car up, put it like in the most appropriate place where I wouldn't have thought to put it, but it held traffic off. So I you know, while he was trying to turn around, navigate the trailer to get it into a certain position. I mean, there was no room. There was no room to move. I mean, it was like he had like maybe 20 feet on either side of him to maneuver around, because at this point it was a choke point. There was everybody leaving the town and everybody coming into the town, and they were all set right there. He had no space to maneuver, but he got in his cab, turned the thing around, came back over, hooked the thing up, and Officer Lee said, "We're just gonna keep everybody at bay, and we're gonna be cool." So Officer Lee is cool, man. So I was like, "All right, if you're cool, I'm cool. We got this." There's just the two of us and the driver of the truck, stopping millions of people's of being affected by this possibility of being without power, electrical fires, and communication. Officer Lee's a cool cat, and I think he was the same officer. I'm not going to swear by it, but I think he was the same officer I met last week when I was cutting up a tree that fell on a road. And I think, unless he's got a twin brother, but I mean, not to mention what could have happened had that truck actually hit that and fell all those poles, all those wires on everybody in the immediate vicinity. Forget about it. I mean, that's just the immediate effect. Is that officer would have got fried, I would have got fried, the truck driver would have got fried, probably everybody within 100 yards would have got fried. That there was, multiple houses over here, they would have got fried. So, Officer Lee, I salute you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You know, good job. Yes, sir. Thank you.